Welcome to Q&Ace. It's your boy Ace Boogie. Welcome to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button. We truly appreciate that. This is Q&Ace. As you guys know, the Q&A spot where I let you guys come on and pretty much give and ask me questions about what's going on with the Bengals, what your thoughts are. So you get to come in here and pretty much ask any question that you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link up here in the description to invite you guys in. So if you do want to join, please be sure to do that. And we also allow super chats as well. So please be sure to hit that super chat button as well. We truly appreciate that. Let me see. Go ahead and get this one popping in here. And I'm going to go ahead and pin that. And so you can hit that joint right there to pop in, and we'll get things going. Somebody said cap. Nah, we here. Cut the tape on. We did that earlier. Joe Burrow, what's up, bro? All right, so we're just waiting for somebody to pop in. I'm going to actually make sure I pin this post. I know I was supposed to do this last Sunday, but your boy was on the road and out of town, so I had to end up kind of rescheduling this, but it's all good. We'll get it going. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have the link in the description for all of the stuff, and then I'm going to actually go here and pin this. But as we wait, I know that there's some questions, so don't hesitate to drop some of those joints in the actual live chat. So as I'm doing this, let me try to get this pinned. Yeah, I got that one there. I'll just leave it up on the screen. I thought that I could actually come into this chat and put it up. But all right. So yeah, as we wait, we'll try to get people in. Please be sure to like this this video. I don't see any questions yet, man. Y'all got to throw some questions at least in the chat. We'll try to get this going. Morgan Moses has to come here. We'll see. He doesn't have to come here. If he comes here, it might be to play guard, or maybe they can get someone else to play guard, but he might have his options. Sir Dom was in the house. So this is the link to join. So I'll wait until we get some people to join in. Might be throwing people off because of the timing. I know it was supposed to be at 8:30, but I had got caught up at Best Buy. All right. Post the link in the comments. Yeah, sure. I'll do it again one more time. My man Diddy. What up, Diddy? All right. Yeah, I'm going to post it in the comments. Let's see. Post that. It's in the chat. Let me see if I can pin it. So I'm going to pin that message. So I just pinned the message with the link. So you guys should be able to hit it. And sorry, I'm over here trying out my new setup. It's pretty shaky. But just bear with me for a second. Got 18 people in. All right, so I got one question here. And we got my man Nandon that just joined. Darian Harris says, Ace, what do you think is a dark horse for a starter position / award candidate? I think the dark horse, I said this on Orange is the New Black this week. I think the dark horse is Hakeem Adeniji for the left guard. I think that would potentially be it for sure. But I'm going to bring in my man Nandon. Nandon, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, Ace? Just making my weekly appearance on the Q&Ace. You know what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate it, man. I know it's been all over the place. Usually we do Sundays at 8, but
Yeah.
last two Sundays I've had some had to basically take a trip last weekend for some family, mother-in-law and stuff like that. So
Mm.
it kind of threw off everything. I was dead tired and passed out.
No
But
worries, man. We're just happy to, when you do the show, anytime,
no, appreciate it, bro.
real
How
fans gonna make
things
you
been
proud.
in how things been in your world?
Oh, man, I've just been, I actually do music. I don't think I ever
I
told you that.
saw that. I saw that, bro. I saw that you were a music artist. I
Yeah,
did some lurking real quick. I was like, all right. I
yeah,
saw you had the album come out.
yeah. It's coming out in June. I've been working on, putting my stuff out. I'm not your typical artist, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I try different genres and stuff.
Right,
Like a lot of like the mainstream stuff now is like rap and hip hop and like trap rap and singing rap. It's all like versions of rap. You know what I mean?
right,
Which is cool.
right.
But I like to like mix it up a bit. I'm trying to make my own sound too. Hopefully
No,
that
that's
pops off
fire.
at some point.
What you probably didn't know, and what people that are watching this probably didn't know, is Zim is an artist himself. Like he got pretty big, I think around. I mean, I wouldn't want to misspeak, but he's like made songs for like a lot of rappers. He's made songs himself. If you look him up on YouTube, you'll find him. So
Yeah,
Zim is actually a rapper. He actually, when he had his son, he kind of slowed down with his rap career. Like he's done interviews and all kind of stuff. Like
he's got the enthusiasm.
yeah,
Like,
for
I
sure.
follow him on Instagram, so I see like the enthusiasm he has for the Bengals. Man, that's real fan stuff right there, man. Like
Facts.
he's a real diehard fan. So is Ace,
Facts.
but I mean, Zim's got you know what I'm saying with Zim. He's got that fire in him.
Yeah, Zim is turned up. I'm more of a laid back, so we kind of
Yeah,
complement each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like the yin and the yang, man.
Facts, facts.
Man. But hey, man, when I drop some new music, hopefully you check it out. I'm trying to.
Oh yeah.
It's hard because when you're not making music that's like in the mainstream, like when you make like different stuff, it's hard to
Hmm.
get people's attention. It's not as easy. But I'm staying true to myself and trying out different genres, even mainstream stuff.
Right.
As hey,
Nah, man. I mean, you
yeah,
support me. I gotta support you.
yeah,
You're here every
yeah,
week, bro. So the
yeah,
least
for
I can
sure,
do
man.
is definitely give you a listen. So yeah,
Yeah.
after the show or whatever, shoot me a link, bro. I
For
got you.
sure, man, for sure. Rohan, Rohan TV. He had that awesome like Bengals theme track. That was
Yeah.
a fire track though.
Yeah.
That was underrated. I
That
thought
was
it was a
fire.
really fire track. But anyway, to the point, Chase. Right now we're in May, so there's a lot of time still to the preseason to even see some football action of our beloved Bengals.
Hmm.
But before then, uh, not before then actually, while throughout the preseason and once it's over, who do you think makes the cut? Because like there's like who are some notable names that you expect out of the rookies that you think will make the 53-man roster?
So just from our rookie class from 2021, which notable
Yeah.
names do I think that are just locks to make it?
Yes. Or just makes it in general.
Man, honestly, looking through this draft class, I think all of them make it. The only one that's on kind of the bubble is I think Wyatt, and it's just because of the numbers. It has nothing to do with his ability
Hmm.
at all. But it's just there's so many edge rushers on this team. It's hard for me to see them keeping him on the active roster. Now, I could see them cut him and put him on the practice squad. And a lot of these guys, I think that if they don't make it from this draft class, I think they'll go immediately to the practice squad. But I honestly think the guys that they have are so good that they're gonna stick. Like
Yeah.
some people were like, "Oh, Trey Hill might not." Nah, I'm like, nah. I think
Well,
Trey
Trey
Hill's
Hill's
gonna
made it.
make it. I
He's
think
made
he's
it.
gonna make it. He can play guard. He can play center. I think he's a dark horse person to have. Deontay Smith, I think, makes it. I mean, you got a guy with 35, 36-inch arms. He's got to make it. I mean, he's a prospect player, which is what Michael Jordan kind of was, because Michael Jordan is really tall for a guard, for him to be 6'8" and stuff like that. These are guys, and those are guys that you really want to mold, and you probably don't want to see them starting or getting valuable reps until about like their third or fourth year, really. And I think that was a mistake that they made with Michael Jordan.
Hmm.
And I don't even blame Michael Jordan because he basically wasn't expecting to start. He just listened to Jim Turner. And so the poor guy got put in a bad situation, and he probably shouldn't have even have been out there. And unfortunately, what happened happened. And so for me, when I look at this whole roster, every guy that I see that they picked, I don't see them cutting them except for Wyatt. And that's only simply because when you look at the edge rusher room, there's so many guys there. Just the D line room in general, like D tackle and edge rusher. So I think because of that, it's going to be tricky, bro. It's going to be super tricky. And I think that we all know that there's always injuries. So I think they want to keep these guys on the practice squad because you already know there's going to be guys that are going to get called up, and Wyatt could be one of those guys that get called up if there's any kind of injury at the edge rush position. But when you really look at it, Hendrickson, Hubbard, Khalid Kareem, Osai. There's just so many. Like even when you just turn on Madden, Amadi Bledsoe, he's not making it, but still, it's like there's so many guys at those positions. Like when you look at the edge rushers, just even on Madden, it's kind of overwhelming. You're like 4 or 5 guys deep on both sides, and it's like, which guy am I going to cut? And then you talk about Cam Sample. Do they view him as an end? Do they view him as a 3 technique? I don't know. He's kind of got a hybrid kind of thing there. So you got those guys. As much as I would love to see Renell Wren and Shelvin together, I think Shelvin is replacing Renell Wren almost in a sense. But I would,
you know what I think? I think actually, sorry to cut you off, but I think actually Renell Wren should stay. I think Tyler Shelvin will be replacing Josh Tupou. That's just what I think, because they're not the same player, but they've got a similar size.
Right.
The difference is, Tyler Shelvin's younger. And in my opinion, he looked better in college than I haven't seen Josh Tupou. I haven't seen much of Josh Tupou at all, to be honest.
Josh Tupou is actually pretty good. Like that's the one thing I'll say is he opted out last season, but before that, and I remember him from like day one. I was just like, "Who is this Josh Tupou guy?" Right?
Yeah.
And then they finally started putting him in, and sometimes we have these kind of PFF superstars that are under the radar that no one sees, and then you see their grades on PFF, and you're like, what? But when you really look at Josh Tupou, he's a good player. Like they really missed him a lot. Like they really could have used him last year, but he does have, a year outside of football. He wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, a Zach Taylor guy. I think he, lasted from that Marvin Lewis era. He just kind of stuck on.
Era.
Yeah, he's from the Marvin era. So, depending on how they feel about him, I actually like Josh Tupou. So I think he's actually proved a lot more than Renell Wren. Renell Wren is a big guy who also was kind of a project player that they just thought this guy is massive. If they can teach him and coach him up right, he has the ability to be very special. And last year was really supposed to be that year for him. And unfortunately, he got hurt and wasn't able to really showcase that. And I don't know if it's that this staff is like, hey, Renell Wren, maybe the time has run out on him and they see Shelvin and, maybe, but I would love for them to keep both of them. But when you just look at the numbers game, bro, it's so hard to justify keeping a Renell Wren, over a Tyler Shelvin or over a Mike Daniels. Like you're not cutting Mike Daniels for Renell Wren. Like you'd have to risk putting Renell Wren on the practice squad.
And speaking of Mike Daniels, he's a veteran, which reminds me, recently I've heard rumors that, the Bengals should go for Morgan Moses, that guy from the football team, that lineman. Do you think we'll take him? Because honestly, I don't think we'll take him. I think our coaches are happy with the linemen we have.
I'm not in the know in terms of that. That may be something that Malik Wright may be able to shed some light on. Me personally, I just don't see him as the guy. I mean, if they're gonna pass over, and I mean it's unrelated because they wanted Jamar Chase, right? But they went out, and and we don't know this, but it kind of came across as even if we went Panay, he would have had to play guard. you're not gonna tell a guy like Morgan Moses, that's one of the top tackles in the league, and you also have one on your team with Riley Reef, that hey, you're gonna play right guard. Like that's just not like. And the thing is, it's not like you traded for him. You could do that and be in the position of power to do that if you traded for him. Right now, he has all the leverage. If he doesn't want to play right tackle and he's what 30 or close to 30, 28 or something like that, I'm not exactly sure. I just know that he's a veteran. He's a free agent. Obviously, I think more than just the Bengals will be interested in him, and he's going to have the pick of doing what he wants to do. I mean, it's just a hard sell for me to look at it and say, yes, he's going to do it when we just signed Riley Reef there, and they just promised Riley Reef that he's going to start at right tackle. Now, if Riley Reef is flexible and he's like, yeah, cool, which he did say he would be willing to play guard, I don't know if that was realistic or if that's coach speak. Obviously, guys are going to say, I'm going to do whatever is best for the team. Now, if Riley Reef was willing to say, you know what, I'll play left guard, because Jackson Carmen's your right guard. You can't move him there. And so then, yeah, there's a chance maybe, but I just think with him wanting to probably play right tackle, like you don't really see a lot of tackles that are like happy about switching the guard. And I mean, I think we saw that with Cordy Glenn. He was like, let me get out of here. Get me out of here. You want to make me a guard? Get me out of here. So, you know, I don't think that you could ask a veteran to do that and then potentially follow that up with, and then you're also not going to make a lot of money doing
We had a decent line when Cordy Glenn was actually around. Like we actually did. Remember? Right. Like in 2018, we actually had a decent line. It's just we had Andy Dalton. So I mean, at the time, we didn't we looked like we were compete that year.
I'd probably say that we had decent players, and that's just because I've been the proponent of, and even, you know, before the Panay thing, I honestly felt like the line had been bad since 2016. And, you know, I see what you're saying there. Like, yes, we did have Cordy Glenn. That's a lot better than what we kind of had. But there were still a lot of issues on the line because, unfortunately, he was playing with, you know, Billy Price. He didn't get a chance to play with Trey Hopkins. So there were a lot of interchangeable areas there. And what's funny is I don't want to jump on Michael Jordan because I think he just got a bad deal. But I remember going into last season saying Michael Jordan should not stop you from signing someone like Larry Warford. Like that was mind-blowing to me.
I remember you saying that.
Because I was just like, no, that's not like, because my thing with Michael Jordan is as soon as he was drafted, I read his draft prospect profile and everything. And it was like, he's not ready to, like when I first saw Michael Jordan get in the game, and I don't know if it was with Jim Turner. It had to be under Jim Turner, I believe. I was like, he shouldn't even be out there. And this was like 2 years ago. I'm like, he should not be out there yet. He's still learning and stuff like that. It's not fair to throw that kid into that situation like that. And then, you know, he had some games where he struggled. And this was 2 years ago, or, you know, 2 seasons ago now. So the season before that season. And so when I was saying that, I was coming from that area because I remembered seeing some really bad PFF grades, knowing that he was a prospect kind of player that needed to be developed. And, you know, I don't know if they just felt like they should just throw him into the fire or what, but I didn't feel like he was really ready for that situation. Like he just wasn't ready. And so going back to the guard talk, like that line a couple of years ago, we had Cordy Glenn. He couldn't stay healthy. And when you didn't have Cordy Glenn, they couldn't stay healthy. And you had Bobby Hart giving up 10 sacks. It was bad. It was bad, bro.
Yeah, I remember. It was terrible, man. But, you know, I honestly think, like, you know, I was sending a meme out to people. I showed, like, a picture of, like, Broly as a regular Saiyan and Broly as a legendary Super Saiyan.
Nice.
And the left side showed Bengals 2020 O-line with the regular Broly. And the right side showed Bengals O-line 2021. It showed him as a legendary Super Saiyan, implying that our line has improved and we're going to surprise a lot of people. And the national media needs to stop with all this. Oh, we need help to get – the Bengals need an O-line. The Bengals need an O-line. They don't really No,
Yeah, it's a lazy
annoying.
narrative, man. It's
So
honestly a lazy narrative. I think what it is they put so much stock in it being Penei Sewell there that when the Bengals didn't take him, they probably felt like Penei Sewell was a sure bet. And there's still a valid argument to that, but I don't think that it's as much as they're making it.
I'm
Like,
yeah, honestly, I was a Panay guy. I
right,
watched the Civil War.
right.
I wanted Panay to be the guy, but even then, like in my heart of hearts, I didn't trust that Panay was the guy. I liked him because I
Hmm.
was just thinking O line, but
Hmm.
having Panay alone does not solve all our O line issues. In
It
fact,
doesn't stop. It doesn't solve the issue at all.
yeah.
What the thinking is, and I'm just speculating because this is what my thinking was at the time.
Hmm,
You have Riley Reef, who's 32, who's turning 32 this year.
hmm,
The Bengals don't have the greatest track record for keeping older players, just in general. So you got to consider that as you just have him for 1 year.
hmm,
The guard positions at the time were both horrible. So really, to me, it always was three spots. Now there's people that'll tell you, and I'm not disrespecting how they feel. I respect their opinions. There are
hmm,
some people that feel like, left guard is okay, right guard is what needs to be fixed, and you have, your stopgap in Riley Reef. But where the national media I think is coming from is so you take Jackson Carman, which I think Jackson Carman kills kind of the narrative because I'm telling you guys, when I talked to Willie and they called Jackson Carman, they were talking about playing him at right guard for now and right tackle next year. They want him to be the right tackle of the future. Like there's a lot of people out here saying because of the metrics and stuff, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with people saying that. I'm just saying I heard them say they want to play him at guard and eventually move him out to right tackle. So that's the plan. And I think what the national media thinks is just like everyone else, those that aren't in the know, that Jackson Carman is just a guard. How can the guy be just a guard when he's played tackle his entire career is
hmm.
crazy to me. He was a left tackle for Clemson, blocking for Trevor Lawrence. He's never played guard in a game before. So like it's just kind of wild to me where people are like, "Oh, there's no way he can play tackle." Fine, even if that's what it is, cool. That's what their plan is though. And so on the surface, people see a 33-year-old, Riley Reef that's only going to be there for a year. Not that Riley Reef is bad. They don't think that he's bad. But then once he's gone, they're like, who else do you have? Because they're not aware that Jackson Carman is going to be the right tackle next year.
Hmm.
And so that's what they look at. And then they see guys like Trey Hill and stuff like that, and they don't see the plan coming to fruition. The plan, how I think they probably see it, is that Jonah Williams, hands down, is always going to be their left tackle, right?
Hmm.
Jonah Williams, the left guard situation, they're trying to figure out, but at minimum, you've got Quentin Spain there. I think the Bengals see it as Hakeem Adeniji. The national media doesn't even know who Hakeem Adeniji is. They don't know that he's a solid,
Yeah.
player, developmental as well, but a lot far ahead than a Michael Jordan or something like that, right? And so he was considered a steal last year. They don't know about him.
Hmm.
And then you've got a center, Trey Hopkins. They don't know about Trey Hopkins. They just see Billy Price. Billy Price didn't work out. They don't think about the other guy that's been starting and took Billy Price's role. So they're looking at it as, wow, the Bengals line sucks because they don't have a right tackle for the future. They don't have a center. This is their thinking because they're not aware. They don't have a left guard. Jackson Carman is their right guard. And so from their thinking, they still think that there's three holes left on this offensive line when we all know that's not the case. And we all know where the actual bad part of the line really was at. As much as we hated Bobby Hart, last year Bobby Hart didn't have a bad season. He actually had a good season for Bobby Hart standards, which isn't much because this is a guy that gave up 10 sacks. But,
Hmm.
if you look at his PFF scores, they really weren't bad. The issues were at the guard positions. And I try to tell this to people that are not Bengals fans, and they're kind of mind blown because they're like, what are you talking about? But it's because they don't know who Trey Hopkins is. It's because they don't know about the plan for Jackson Carman. They
Hmm.
don't know who Quentin Spain is at all. they don't know who any of these guys are at all. So they look at our roster and they're just like, what are they doing? And it's not the same. It's not the same thing. They don't know who Frank Pollock is. We know who Frank Pollock is because we remembered watching him come in with that bad line and at least get them to play somewhat average. We remember that, but they don't know who Frank Pollock is.
I seen a stat on Twitter where it said that Joe Burrow was sacked 32 times, and of the new additions to the O-line, only 5 sacks are the new O-linemen were only responsible for 5 of those sacks. So
right, but that's just, to me, I work with stats and numbers. Stats are tricky, man, because I watch and I recommend this to anybody, right? Don't just go off of stats. And I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody at all. I respect PFF. I respect Football Outsiders, DVOA. I'm into that stuff. It's cool. But the one thing I caution about is you always have filters on data, and there's different ways of looking at stuff and saying, okay, this is how it looks. So, if it only was, let's just say Michael Jordan gives up the sack, right? But what if Jonah's guy beat him on the play too? And if you go back and watch some of those games, I recommend watching a Chargers game and looking at it and thinking about everybody that's on the field and what happens on the play. And I was talking to Big Willie about that because I watched it like the first 4 weeks I watched. Yes, there were times that Michael Jordan got beat, but there were times that Jonah got beat too. It just happened that Michael Jordan's guy got to the quarterback first, got to Joe Burrow first. And so there was from what I saw, a lot of pressure coming from up the middle and from the sides. And Jonah was getting beat on at times. And that's the only reason why I try to say that Jonah isn't really like elite yet. And there's still some room for improvement for him. And
he's solid, though.
He's still solid. He's solid. But I think some people are judging him from the standpoint of, if you were the number one lineman in your draft class, the standard is always just so high. It's just, even for Panay this year, right? If Panay got beat by Bosa twice in the game, and then he goes into another one against Myles Garrett and gets beat twice in that game, and then he gets beat by TJ Watt, people are going to be like, all right, yeah, he's solid, but we didn't draft you, or you weren't the number one lineman in the class to be solid. And that's the double-edged sword when it comes to being that first lineman in the class. I still think that Jonah can take another step. But when you get someone that's not a Bengals fan and they watch our games, the narrative is he's not living up to being picked number 11. Like, he's not bad, but he's not like
number 11.
Yeah, he can't make the offensive line better by himself.
I will say something about our O-line, though, in defense of the O-line. Joe Burrow did run into some sacks, and sometimes he held the ball a bit too long. Just like in Madden, in those Madden simulations, it shows Burrow running into sacks or holding the ball too long, waiting for
and I get that, but I hate that at the same time. Because it's like, come on, guys. We know that this line is garbage. Like, we knew that the line was garbage. We knew it was like, Joe definitely made his share of mistakes, but there were also times that people didn't like. So then you have the sack metric too. And this is why I talk about data. If you're just going off of the times Joe was sacked, you're not looking at the times where he was hit, where he was hurried, where he was throwing stuff away. Like, all of that stuff matters, man. And if you're just focused on, my filter is sacks only, you're missing the parts where you got hit on plays. You're missing all of these other hits and stuff that happened to show you that even though there wasn't a sack on that play, the offensive line was bad. So I get it. I definitely agree with you. There definitely were some plays where Joe, made mistakes, but at the end of the day, he's a rookie. At the end of the day, those were veterans on the offensive line. That stuff shouldn't have been happening with him getting hit as much as it was. But yeah, back to your main question. I know I went on a tangent. I don't see them bringing in Moses. If they do, I would love it. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want Moses at all. I just, from what they've shown us, Jonah is our left tackle. Jonah is our left tackle. They're banging us over the head with Jonah is our left tackle. So I got to say, Jonah's the left tackle. Riley Reifer's our right tackle. They're banging us on the head with that. Jackson Carman is the right guard. They're banging us on the head with that. So that only leaves 2 positions for Moses, left guard and center. He might not want to play center. He might not want to play left guard. For him, I don't know. I don't think is as intriguing as an option as, and I hate to say this, and I hope he doesn't go there. So I'm going to knock on wood. Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh's line is like wide open. They have the worst line in the division. If you think the Bengals line is bad,
that's
Pittsburgh's
crazy.
line is really bad. I can't wait until we play them.
Oh man, actually, how I tell you sometimes I see things like visions and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I seen like I don't know if this is good or not, but I seen that like I might be wrong. It might just be just some random thought.
If it were me though, I'd sign Moses.
Yeah.
If he wants to play left tackle, right tackle, whatever. Him and Reef are interchangeable at those positions. I think Reef actually played left tackle for the most part.
Yeah.
Right. I would put Reef at left tackle. I would slide Jonah to left guard. I would have Hopkins at center, Carmen at right guard, and Moses at right tackle. Yeah. But you're not going to do it. They've been saying this whole time they're not moving Jonah. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
I had this vision where we started at least every single one of our rookie linemen at some point in this season. I don't know why. I've seen it a couple times because injury.
I think the dark horse for me, bro, Trey Hill just keeps popping into my head. Like,
yeah, me too.
Trey Hill, I think, is the eventual center for this team. I think as much as I love Trey Hopkins, I'm not trying to, down him or anything. I think there's going to come a time where it's going to come down to money. And if he's not outperforming Trey Hill by like leaps and bounds, they're going to cut him and keep Trey Hill. And this is like 2 years from now. This is just me thinking logically, like if Trey Hill is in his 30s, or Trey Hopkins is in his 30s and still in that contract and making a lot of money, and he's not outperforming Trey Hill, who's a 4th round pick that gets peanuts on the dollar, they'll cut him and keep Trey Hill and promote him. And it may be that Trey Hill sneaks into the guard position if Adeniji doesn't live up to that role. But, I just personally think that they have some bright pieces on this offensive line. You talk about Deontay Smith, they probably want him to play tackle.
Yes.
So that's still in play. So you got some guys that you can work with. And, I wouldn't mind adding Moses to here at all. Like I'd cut Xavier Su'a-Filo like that. Like people think that I'm like a Su'a-Filo like hater. I am a Xavier Su'a-Filo like, let's just be real about his situation. Like he's been cut from several teams. He was cut. Like if you just do your research on him, it's not that hard. He was cut for Quentin Spain. He's making $3 million a year. He's been pretty much a career backup. If you've been in the league this long, you're pretty much a backup. You're not just going to be like a great starter out of nowhere, but he's had a good sample size of games. And people kind of have what kind of happened with Darius Phillips, and not to hate on Darius Phillips. I think Darius Phillips was a good guy, but when they said that he had elite PFF grades and you're expecting Jalen Ramsey type play from Darius Phillips, I'm like, you got to pump your brakes for a second. Those might just be an outlier. So, Lap said that he could see Xavier Su'a-Filo even getting cut, and I think that's because of the money factor. And you got to be able to stay healthy.
Yeah, and Lap's right about a lot of predictions.
So, yeah, Lap's in the know, man. Lap knows what's going on. He didn't say that for no reason.
Of course.
But then I got some other guys I want to get to, bro. Was there anything else you want to say before you get out?
Yeah, man. Just one last thing. I watched your recent video of you running a 40. I was just wondering what your time was. Like in high school.
My time in high school, so the last time I had an official timing, it was actually at Ohio State summer football camp. I think this was like 2003 summer. Damn. 2003 or 2002. It was way back in the day. It was a 4.6. So I ran a 4.6 back in the day.
Me beat by a fraction of 3 seconds, like not 3 seconds, 0.03, because I ran a 4.9. Like when I played football.
Oh, nice.
Like,
yeah.
I was like a bit slower than you.
But see, the thing is, I might have gotten faster. I think I might have gotten to the 4.5s just because that was like my freshman year, right? Then I ran track. So then I learned how to properly take off and stuff like that. Yeah. So I might have actually probably been 4.5. I know I wasn't 4.4 or 4.3 because that's why I gave up. I was like, I'm a short dude, so like at my height,
How tall are you?
I'm only 5'7", bro.
Oh,
Like
five
I'm
seven.
I'm like
Nice.
5'7". So like I
Nice.
would be like a Darren Sproles
Yeah.
type guy. You had to run a 4.3 or 4. There's no way you're making
Yeah,
the
man.
National Football
When I
League
ran
unless
my
you run a
40,
four
man,
three
I
four
was
four.
I was 5'9". That was
Mm-hmm.
like that's my main height now. I'm 5'9",
Right.
and I ran it when I weighed about 210 pounds when I ran 4.9.
See, I think when I was a senior, I was about
Yeah.
like 180. I was
Yeah.
like
I
5'7",
only ran
180.
it in my senior year of high school.
When I
And
was
that
a
was like,
freshman, though, I was small, bro. I had to
yeah.
probably be like 5'7", 150. Like,
Oh,
like I
yeah.
remember between sophomore and junior year, I had to put on weight, like just to
Damn.
get more muscle and stuff like that because I just was like a smaller kind of dude. Like I was only like 150. I could make people miss and stuff like that. And I never got hurt. I never had like injuries. It wasn't like I was getting hurt or anything.
Mm.
But yeah, once I saw the guys on like the varsity, I'm like, yeah, I got to put some weight on, put some muscle on, do
Yeah.
what I got to do.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me again, man. I always appreciate being on the show, and who day.
Who day, brother?
All right, take care.
Yes, sir. All right, bring on my man Steven in. Steven, what's up, bro? The GOAT is in the building. Can you hear me?
What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Yeah. What's up? All right, I just want to say one thing, and well, maybe two things, but one thing real quick. We have to get Moses. He will deliver us from Egypt to the promised land. Okay, God's chosen Bengals fans. He will deliver us to the promised land. But that is all. Okay, I don't want to. I just heard your segment, and if
No,
y'all
I'm with it,
wanna,
bro. Like, don't get it twisted. I want Moses. I just don't want to get y'all hopes up, and then we don't end up getting them because who was the other guy that just got cut too? There was another dude that was a tackle that just got cut like 2 weeks ago, and everybody was like, sign him. It was another notable guy, and people were like, sign that guy. And I was like, yeah, we should sign that guy. And he was just recently cut too, like literally like 2 weeks ago. And Trey Turner's still out there. That's why I'm like, I'm not getting my hopes up unless they actually like bring one of these dudes in. Now, if we get a visit or something like that, we'll see. Like maybe I'll check with Malik and see if he knows anything. But yeah, bro, I'm just not trying to get my hype. I'm not trying to hype you guys up if I don't know it's a sure thing or has a real possibility of happening. And I'm not saying that I know that now, but until I get like my research and stuff done, check with people and see, I don't know. But I would love to have Moses on the team. Don't get it twisted at all.
All right. Another thing I wanted to say, and I know it sounds kind of being a hater. I love the guy. I love Trey Hopkins, but let's be real, people. He's like probably like out of all the starting tackles in the NFL, he's probably like a bottom 5 or 10. Like he's not like. I think center is like a position we need way more than we think, and he's getting old too, and he's good, right? I know we all have good memories of him, and he's been good, as far as Bengals linemen are, which isn't saying much, but I feel like he's not as good as people think, and I think that's a position we need to upgrade at. And I would love to bring like Deontay Smith and move him to center, even though that's probably not realistic. But I think that's a position that's why I love the Trey Hill pick so much more when I thought about it. I think center is like one of our biggest needs on the O line outside of just like an immediate like upgrade over tackle and guard. I think that's like our third biggest need. I think it'll stay where it is for now for a few years till Hopkins leaves, and then we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to say that. But the thing I wanted to get to was that what are the games this season, preseason included, are you most excited for?
Preseason, I'm just now saying this for the first time. I'm actually going to be at the Bengals and Tampa game down here. So obviously Joe Burrow's not going to be playing in that preseason game, but I wanted to go anyway. It's weird, right? Because with them having one less preseason game, I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? Is the first game kind of like the second game where they actually play like the first half or is it going to be the second game? It's kind of weird. Like the whole structure of it is strange, but I would have to say that that's the one that I'm excited for. Like because that's going to be the first one. I feel like they'll at least go out for like a series, and I'll get to see Jamar Chase, and I'll get to see T Higgins, and we'll get to see like some of the weapons on this offense. We'll get to see Jackson Carmen for a second, and you're going against the Super Bowl champ. So like, what better way to really gauge how good you are outside of going against the Super Bowl champions? I mean,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Now I don't know if it's similar to the NBA how they get their rings on opening night or anything like that, but I would love for it to be. I think they already pretty much have their rings. I'm guessing. I would love for it to be something where the Bengals actually get to witness them have their rings or some kind of ceremony so they could be like, all right, that's what we want. We want that. Like, we want to have, those Super Bowl rings. We want to, go down in history and stuff like that. So for me, I have to say it's the Tampa game. I'm excited to be like anytime the Bengals come to Florida. I don't care if it's preseason or not, bro. I'm out there and I'm gonna be cheering and I'm gonna be acting. There, some guys are always like, "Dude, it's only preseason." I don't care. Like they don't come down here that often, so I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna be turned up. But I think that's the most important game. Is the very first one, and obviously any game if Joe Burrow is gonna be out there is gonna be the most important one for me.
Yeah, my personal game that I'm probably the most excited for. I know this is gonna surprise a lot of people, but it's gotta be the Jets game. And it's not because of Zach Wilson or how good they are or anything. It's just because of Carl Lawson. I just really want to beat him.
Oh yeah.
I'm so mad.
So wait, so were you talking about just preseason games, or were you saying like actual
the
regular
season
season?
with preseason?
Oh, okay. I thought you were asking me about preseason only. Regular season games. Chiefs game. I gotta see where we at. See where we at. Like I want to see. Go ahead.
The thing with the Chiefs game, I just don't know if I think it'll probably be like a pretty late in the season. Obviously, it's like our second to last game. I think at that time they're gonna be in rest starters playoff mode. I just don't.
You said we're gonna be, or they're gonna be in rest starters playoff mode.
Them.
Yeah, that's true. So if it is that, the one that I always look forward to really gauge where we're at is probably the Ravens game because they've swept us the last 2 years. So I want to see like, is there going to be a different outcome in terms of the Ravens? I'm not really worried about the Steelers. I think we have really good games with the Browns.
I think we could sweep the Steelers, to be honest.
The Ravens have just mopped the floor with us, and it's weird because they won like 5 straight against us, but before that, we won 5 straight against them. So it's like we got to get back against them, especially after the last game with the 400 yards run. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I want to beat the Jets so bad. I want to just blow them out at that game and just be like, just want to stare down the opposite sideline with Carl Lawson with his head down on the bench. Mwah. I would love that so much, bro. I would love that so much. I hate Carl Lawson.
Good. I would love that with Andy Dalton. I would love a pick 6 against Andy Dalton against Chicago week 2.
So we don't have to worry about Andy Dalton. He's gonna be on the bench.
We got to get that get back, bro. He came back last year and kind of got in us. Last year.
He beat nobody. He beat, who was it? Brandon Allen. He beat nobody. Okay.
Right. We need Burrow to go off on him. Like, nah, bro. We made the right decision.
I'm excited for some other games too. I'm excited to rematch the Browns. It's gonna be a good game. The Browns games were like probably our best games of the season, or our most like competitive games. And the Steelers, we were just duking on them. So I wasn't
right.
That was just sad watching the Steelers, to be honest. But it was funny. But the Browns game, that's gonna be a good game. Like that's gonna be a very competitive game. And of course, those AFC North games will always be extra intensity. It's a rivalry game, Battle of Ohio. It's gonna be a really close game. We probably those last year. I wouldn't even count that as a sweep because we were in those games to the very last second. You change a few plays in those games go our way. Say William Jackson, bum doesn't get burnt by Odell. Have fun in Washington. trash.
Or if Darius Phillips pats that ball down, like
Yeah.
it was too close, like you said. There was another play in that first game where we fumbled inside our own territory that led to like the Browns getting the score too.
Yeah, I think the season's gonna be interesting because we're gonna have one of the hardest schedules. So I think we could use the season as a whole to gauge how good we will be this year. I think we have a lot of. I think I don't think we're gonna lose to the Raiders. I think they're dookie. Derek Carr's trash. They wasted a draft pick on Henry Ruggs just to not use him. I think the only good player on their offense is Darren Waller. Everyone else is Josh Jacobs is good too.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Their best lineman, one of their starting tackles is Alec Leatherwood, who they wasted a first round pick where they could have got Tim Jenkins. I think they're a well coached team. They're going to be competitive, but they just don't have enough talent. I think, and I'm also excited for I'm actually like one of the most excited things about the season is just to see how good we do, see our record, and then look towards the draft in the off season because that's what I live for outside of like the regular games.
Yes, sir.
I'm interested because people have us going picking in the top 5 again. I just don't think that's realistic. I mean, next year's draft though it will be loaded, so we'll see how the draft. I know it's really way too early to talk about it. But I was talking with another Bengals fan, and we were talking about Derek Stingley, Kayvon Thibodeaux, and Evan Neal. Those are our guys for next year.
Kayvon would be a nice one. Kayvon would be a nice one.
I think it are missing.
But in order to get them, we had to finish in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, we have a harder schedule, so I wouldn't be surprised taking in the top 10 again. I don't want to be that guy, but let's be realistic. Play the Chiefs, playing the Ravens, playing the Browns, playing the Steelers.
Division is tough, bro.
Yeah,
division is tough.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be a long season. I just hope it's not like a boring long season. Just hope at least we're competitive, and it's just we lose a few games like this close like that.
Right.
I think I hope Trey Hendrickson can live up to the hype, but I doubt he will. He'll probably get like 7 sacks or something, which is still so much better than what Carl Lawson did. So I'm happy about that. I wish we could play the Redskins again outside of the preseason. I'm pretty sure we play them in the preseason. I wish we could have played them like just regular season, to play William Jackson again and have Jamar Chase burn him over the top and just go for a touchdown and moss him because we all know everybody the thing is about William Jackson, I stood up for William Jackson. I was talking to all my friends. I'm like, bro, he's so much better than you think he is. And then he leaves and goes talks trash on Washington freaking sports radio or something like that.
Yeah, that was
and then
wild.
He's a bum. Like he gets he gets burned by Odell with half a leg. Odell has like half a leg, bro.
I mean, but Odell is that guy.
Yeah, but I think Thaddeus Moss, I'm really hoping to see him play this year. I don't think he's going to be like anything crazy. Mossy kids are going to be like an elite tight end. I think he's going to I'd probably have Drew Sample just to block as a utility tight end. Thaddeus Moss, and then Thaddeus Moss to see Uzoma as my main tight ends. I think Uzoma's going to be good. I think he's going to be way better than people are really expecting. So I love Uzoma. I thought he would have been great last year. Not the injuries. Tight end was just destroying us last year. Drew Sample, we already seen what he got. We already saw his sample size, and he's trash. So, I mean, and then there's Cam Sample. I think he's gonna be he's gonna be good. Joseph Osai. I think physically, he's not quite Carl Lawson technique level, but I think like physically, he's there. He's really he's like his body, he's developed. He's fast, he's strong, he's long. Man's just he used to play linebacker, and he switched to defensive end. So I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be good. Just give it a little time. I think he'll be a Carl Lawson later down the line. I think Jamar Chase is gonna be really good. He's gonna be really good. I think he's probably gonna torch a few teams here and there. I think he's gonna torch the Raiders. I think he's gonna torch the Jets because they have nobody, bums. probably torch the Steelers because they're best. They have nobody. Like their secondary is so boo now. Like they don't even
secondary's trash.
they don't have
Secondary
Steven,
headline.
they don't have Joe Hayden. They don't. Edmonds is probably gone. He's wasted a first round pick. They took him over Jesse Bates. So happy about that. And then they just have Minka, and he's just having to hold down the back, freaking 50 yards of the field, to the end zone. He has to cover so much space by himself because they have nobody basically. I'm not. You know what? The Steelers, they're not good. Okay, guys. Like, I'm not scared of the Steelers. All right.
Steelers are gonna be trash.
I think it's the first time in a long time where the Steelers are just gonna be bottom of the barrel. I think we're gonna be like so much better than them. I think they're gonna be picking top 10 next year. I think they're so bad.
Top 5.
Ben Roethlisberger, Dookie. They pick a running back in the first round when their line is Dookie. Everyone's old, washed, and trash. Their tight ends are trash. Eric Ebron, all he does is drop interceptions. The whole receivers are just TikTok stars. Their coaching, the coaching's good. Not their offensive coaching. The offensive coaching's trash. The D line is getting old. They have Devin Bush is coming off an injury. Minka is a one-man show in the secondary. TJ Watt. I think the D line, their defensive front will be good as usual, but I don't think it's gonna be like their whole team as a whole. I just don't think one good unit is gonna really make them very competitive this year. I think they're gonna be pretty deep.
Right. All right, Steven. Well, appreciate you for coming by. Anything you want to say before you get out of here, bro?
Nah, bro. Houday and Carl Lawson's Dookie.
All right, so shout out to my man Carl Lawson. Don't take offense to that, Carl, if you watching this. Shout out to my man Whisper with the super chat for $5. Appreciate that, bro. He's asking, what do you think the starting offensive line will be, or what do you think it will be if Jonah goes down again and Hopkins isn't ready? If Hopkins isn't ready, Billy Price, I think, is going to start. If Jonah goes down again, they probably put Hakeem Adeniji there. They might move Riley Reef over to the left side and put Adeniji on the right side, or they might roll with Adeniji there. They also could potentially put Fred Johnson there as well. So I think that's what they would go. But I think ideally, just from what I think now until they sign somebody else that's out there, I think that is Jonah, Hakeem Adeniji, and this is my starters. Center, I think, is going to be, Trey Hopkins, maybe Billy Price. If Trey can't go, it's Billy Price. Right guard, Carmen. Right tackle, Riley Reef. There was another super chat in here for $4.99 from my man, Dustin Croft. It didn't have a question on it, but appreciate you, Dustin. I'll try to look and see if you ended up putting any kind of question underneath there. I don't see one, but appreciate you, bro. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my man, Terrell, real quick. Terrell, what's up, bro?
What's good, bro?
Chilling, bro. You good?
Yeah, man. Chilling, man. I'm coming down to your neck of the woods on Tuesday.
For real? You going to be down in the O?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Florida, but I'm gonna be in Tampa down there too, though.
Okay, my cousin in Tampa right now. He's supposed to be coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, and I meant to tell you though, shit. I'm from Avondale, but I stay in the west side now, though.
Okay, yeah, I'm from Avondale too, bro. East Michelin Vine, 775.
Yeah, I got a couple funny topics though. One I was thinking about, I was joking with my homie, and they prime. Who better, George Iloka or Von Bell?
George Iloka or Von Bell? That's a good one, bro. I'm gonna go with Von Bell just because of Juju, bro. Yeah. Like that Juju hit was legendary, but if I had to pick before that would have happened, I would have said George just because I think he was taller and bigger than Von Bell, but he never did the Juju thing, bro. Like Von Bell became a Ohio, Cincinnati legend. Like it's got to be Von Bell just because of that hit, bro. The TikTok right before it, the fact that it was against a Steeler. I mean, I can't remember anything that comes to mind of George doing anything on that level.
Right. And now he did have some big hits. It's just like you said though. The thing about
Megatron,
him
right? I'm
though,
thinking of Megatron. Didn't he lay the hammer on
he
Megatron or something
he
like
is
that?
somebody like that. He definitely did though. But it to me, I just felt like he was more of a headhunter type. He had a past skills, and at one point he seemed like he did, and it just diminished. But you know, it is what it is. But and I had another one. I had a was you know the Ring of Honor.
Right.
I'm really happy the Bengals got it though, man, because we
I
got
am
a lot
too.
of good players though, and they deserve it. But we, as a Bengals fan to any Bengals fan, will we be salty or scoff that if TJ get in before AJ?
Nah, I don't think we would be salty if TJ Husmanzada get in before AJ. I would be salty if like who was somebody that could get in before AJ. I'd be more so salty if they like. I think
I
it's
wouldn't
funny
either
that you
though,
bring
but I
up
was
that.
just saying, bro.
It's funny you bring up AJ because everybody was salty and me
Let me
included
let me
that
say let me say let me
that
say this
Trent
before,
Taylor wears jersey. Go ahead.
hold that thought though. But okay, this real, bro. Okay, we know AJ, Chad, TJ. You know they the goats. You know they the
Right.
goats.
Facts.
And then we got Chase and Higgins.
Right.
They some future superstars, man. They was 4-star, 5-star recruits.
Right.
Do you think we gonna
Terrell,
forget?
can you turn your TV down for a second?
Yeah, my bad.
Nah, you good.
Do you think we gonna forget about Boyd?
Nah.
I'm
Well,
not. I'm not either
do you
though. I
think like
think
the
he.
fans
I,
are? I think the some of the fans could, but I don't think that
I
they'll.
mean, you know, what I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you got
Right.
Chad and TJ, and then you got Jamar Chase might be one of the. You never know. You know what I'm saying? And then Higgins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like,
Right.
is we gonna forget about Boyd? I hope I'm not though. But I'm just
Nah,
saying.
I'm definitely. I don't think so. I don't think Joe Burrow will either. More importantly, like they were on the same page heavy last year. I think that Tyler Boyd will be just like TJ, where you always know that you can count on him. Like when you
Right.
need it on third down or whatever, and the middle of the field is gonna be so open between people being on Jamar Chase and Hick. Like Tyler Boyd is gonna eat. I think Tyler
Yeah.
Boyd is gonna like always eat regardless. Like he like Rico from Paid in Full. He always gonna eat.
But my bad. Before you so so I had just think about the AJ one before you let me go. But
Right.
real quick,
If it
I think
wasn't TJ, I would be like, yeah. But because TJ and Chad were so good back in the day in 2004, I wouldn't be salty at TJ. Now, if it was somebody like, I don't know if I want to say Chris Collinsworth because people probably gonna kill me. But if
yeah,
Chris
I would.
Collinsworth
I
got
would.
in before
I
AJ
would.
Green, I would be
Don't
like,
I would. I would. Don't get me wrong though, and I love Chris Collinsworth. I be saying, you know what I mean. You know he's still out in KY, so you know
right.
you know what I mean. We be seeing him everywhere,
Love for him for sure, but that would just be like I
but
don't
I
know
had
about that.
I had two last things before that I get that off my mind. The last one is funny, but before what is your greatest all time Bengals defensive backs? And you got four corners and you got four safeties. I can
Four
say
corners
mine's
and
real.
four safety. Go
I
ahead.
can say uh I got Leon Hall. I got I did not say I got Leon Hall. I got Delta O'Neal. I got Pac-Man Jones. I really ain't want to say Jonathan Joseph. It was somebody else I wanted to say, but I can't think about it right now though. But I'm gonna just say Jonathan Joseph though, because I do like Jonathan Joseph. But
Right.
Reggie Nelson, Jesse Bates, and I want to say Flowsher from back in the day too though,
Mm-hmm.
and and the Rattler, your boy.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm definitely going with Ken Riley in there. Then I gotta go, like you said, Leon Hall. I gotta go Jonathan Joseph. I gotta go Pac-Man. So that's my four corners, right? So then after that, I gotta go Reggie Nelson, like you said. I also safety, Reggie Nelson. I hate Chris Crocker, bro. I could not put Chris Crocker in there. I hate Chris Crocker. Jesse Bates, like you said, and then I got two more. George, I'm gonna go with George.
One more. Taylor Mays.
I can't go with Taylor. I love Taylor Mays.
Taylor Mays was a better Bengal than any other team he was on.
He
for
was
real.
good. Taylor Mays was good, but I even say Roy Williams might have been better than Taylor when he was here. But I'm gonna throw one out there. Madiu Williams, bro. Madiu Williams, bro. I'm gonna go with Madiu Williams. Madiu was nice for real. I'm gonna tell you who else was nice that didn't get enough shine. And Dukeway. And Dukeway back in the day was straight too, as well. But if we throwing a bust out there, I'm gonna say Robert Sands. He never lived up to anything that I thought he was gonna do.
What if Cheadle and Hilton Beast and Trey Waynes turn into Kirkpatrick, worse than Kirkpatrick?
Trey Waynes, I think, is a faster Drake Kirkpatrick. That's
you know what I'm saying.
Just so
though?
You know where. No, I'm with you. That's what I think he is.
What if that happened though? Like, you know what I'm saying?
We don't need a corner, bro. We need a corner. I think we need a somebody say y'all sleeping on Chris Carter. I ain't hating on Chris Carter. I just couldn't put him in my best Bengals safety of all time. And I still got PTSD of him getting stiff armed and rolled up the sideline by Arian Foster. That's still fresh.
Me too. But you the funny thing I was gonna say, man, you know, Karan Butler going off as the number one bust, just keeping it real though, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
As your NFL Karan Butler, who should step up and say something and explain himself. I got two of them. But I think
you talking about Kwame Brown. You talking about Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown. Like, who is the NFL Kwame Brown you think should step up and say something and explain himself and keep it real and just say, it ain't my fault.
RG3. But RG3, I'm not gonna say he was Kwame Brown, but he got Rookie of the Year and then immediately went down.
You know what? I was going, you know what? That was super good though, for real though. Right. Because I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking more of like a kind of a super buzz, but that's what's super up though.
I would probably say more so alongside of what you're saying though is probably Johnny Manziel or Jamarcus Russell.
This, you know, why you say somebody good? I'm gonna say Vince Young.
Yeah, Vince Young, that's a good one.
And then, believe it or not, I was gonna say Trent Richardson and Achilles Smith.
Yeah, Achilles Smith is up there for sure. Yeah,
you know what he probably gonna say though? He probably gonna say, "Man, I played with Ray Lewis when he was on one. We ain't had no line.
Right.
All I had was Darnay Scott.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He probably and then y'all rush me." And I only had 1 year.
Right.
So.
Nah, that's real. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on back then, coaching staffs and
that is true. That is
all kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you get picked there. You got to do what you got to do what's expected of you.
Yeah, definitely though, man. I'm gonna just leave it at. I think Poker Williams the third best running back on the team, man.
That's real. That's real.
Not even me. I seen your tape, but even Um, I know it's Madden.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the you know what I mean, the same
Updated roster.
updated
Yep.
roster, the draft class. They got him rated high, man.
I'm gonna have to like.
I'm
I think after watching.
let me tell you. Let me tell you two other people I got on my team. I'm not playing with the Bengals. I just play with whoever, whatever. But but Shelvin, they got him high as hell. They got him pretty high. He
Yeah.
like a 75, 76. They
Right.
got. I'm not saying they is good, but what the draft scouts out there saying that these guys was really higher than what they draft was at. And the
Right.
last one I was gonna say, the Joseph Adai dude, they did here got him an 80 overall on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean.
so I guess he
Yeah.
really was supposed to have been like a first or second round pick, I guess. Like, you know.
Right. Like those guys, they aren't Bengals fans that put those rosters together, but you could tell that they're so high on those guys. Like they could have had potential where they thought some of them could have went in the first and second round for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. But I just wanted to give you something to chuckle about the Kwame Brown though, and
Yeah,
just,
Kwame
you know,
Brown.
I
I've been
appreciate the
watching all
time,
week.
man. I
Becky
give
with the good hair. Yep.
Yeah, I
We
just
on
wanted
it.
to give you something with the defensive backs and you know, just say something about. I know AJ and I know Gino. They know they gonna make it to the Hall of Fame, man. But I really do hope that Carlos know that we still love him, man. He's still one of the greatest defensive ends the Bengals had for real. Other than
Facts.
Crown Wright, it's him and Dunlap for real.
Right.
Um, and I just wanted to know that it ain't all shade. It's just because you nasty taste in your mouth because of somebody else. I mean, it ain't us, man.
Facts. Facts. All right, bro. Appreciate you for
I
holding it
appreciate it
down.
though, y'all. You already
Yep.
know.
Yes,
Peace.
sir. All right. My man Diddy has been waiting patiently. I see that we've only had about 26 likes. We got to get more likes on this video, man. I need you guys to like this video. Truly appreciate it. It helps support the channel. Diddy, what's good, bro?
What's going on, Ace, man?
Man, chilling. It's good to finally see you on the screen, man.
Yeah, ignore the face. I got a bet going on with my oldest son. I bet him I wouldn't shave or cut my hair for 6 months.
Nah, you good.
It's going on 5 months. It's rough.
You already there.
But
You
I
good.
can't let him win. Like Chad Johnson says, can't let your kids win. It helps them build character.
Right, facts, facts. Hold on
Man,
one second. It
all
looks
right.
like my man Hank Herschel. Shout out to you, bro, for the $10 super chat. T. Higgins will definitely get strong Pro Bowl considerations in 2021. Shout out to Nandon. He says the Bengals will win a playoff game. Go ahead, Diddy.
Yeah, I feel like T is gonna get Pro Bowl considerations if our offense plays like the offense we had with Carson and TJ and them. He had TJ, Chad, and Chris Henry going crazy. So
Right,
as long as Chase, which I know he will, plays up to the potential, we now as far as Morgan Moses, I hope he signs here because in a perfect world we'll have him. I had asked Zim about him. He was like, "Yeah, he would do good for us." I would
facts.
actually it'll that one signing can actually help us in two ways. You kick Riley Reef over to left tackle as much as Zach don't want to. Put Joan at left guard. That
Right,
solves a guard issue. You have two strong tackles, and you got Carmen as your right guard. That just leaves Billy Price to battle with whoever if Trey Hopkins can't
facts,
start. That helps us in so many ways.
facts.
But you got people saying, no, we don't need him. You can't move Riley Reef. Riley Reef said he wouldn't mind playing guard because that's what they told him at that dinner with the steak. You may
Right,
play guard, you may play tackle. He's willing to, as long as they don't screw him like they've been doing the Marvin guys. Wait until they walk in to see, hey, this is where I'm playing on the drawing board.
right.
Just talk to him.
Nah,
I'm
that's real.
sure.
Just be real. Just be transparent and just let dudes know what they're signing up for. So, like you said,
Right.
they let him know at the door it's a possibility that you could play guard. He shouldn't really be surprised if he does have to play guard.
Right. And with Frank Pollock, I'm pretty sure he's a straight up dude. He'll be like, look, I'm putting my 5 best on the field. I don't care where you were drafted. I don't care if you were drafted. You're going to get on the field. You're going to play. Jim Turner should never have a shot at any job. He shouldn't even be able to allow to play to coach high school players. Like,
Right.
as bad as that offensive line regressed, they're like, oh, these players suck. No, Billy Price didn't suck as bad when Pollock was here. When
Right.
Frank Pollock was here, he was playing at average level. I know that's not what you want from a first round pick, but still, for
Right.
Billy Price, that was good.
Right.
Like, you can't play favorites. You can't do whatever it is Jim Turner called himself doing. Even Willie was like, man, I don't know what the fuck he doing.
Right.
It's like, stop. You're going to have all of our players acting like Kwame Brown, releasing videos every other day.
Right. Facts.
Man,
nah, that's
like,
real, bro.
Like, man, you just got to let these dudes compete. You sitting here, like, at some point last year, it felt like the O-line just didn't give a damn.
Right.
It was like, I know I'm not getting taken out, so
whatever. Yeah,
right.
they got to play better. Like you said, they have to be better coached, and hopefully they will be with Frank Pollock.
I'm going to be extremely hard on Zach Taylor this year because as much as they want to talk about Marvin was 8-8 his first 2 years. His third year, he took a jump from 8-8 first 2 years. The third year was 05 when we won the division.
Facts.
And
yeah, you can't talk about Marvin now. Definitely.
Like, I'll still throw Marvin in his face, but like, look, Marvin went 16-16 his first 2 years. Zach is 6-25-1. That doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence.
Right.
But I'm hoping he makes a jump this year. If he doesn't make a jump, like, you brought in all your guys. Your defense is all your guys.
Facts.
There's no excuses this year.
No, that's real, bro.
I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you need to fire him after, if we lose our first 2 games. No. I'll give you to the full season. But at the end of the season, if we're not making any progress, and I don't want to be where these got ESPN and everybody's predicting us to be picking top 3 next year.
Yeah, I don't
like, no. We've got way too much good on offense. If our young linebackers take a step, which they played damn well last year, considering they were mostly first year and rookies, except for Evans, he just was special teams.
Right.
I still think we do need one vet to come in just to be
definitely.
Like, hey, I've been here.
Quan Alexander would be nice. I'm just saying.
All right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't even be. I know we have a shit ton of tackles, but I wouldn't mind if we brought Geno back just to be like, hey, we have a 3 technique. He was hurt last year. Like, if you can bring him on a team-friendly deal, just like a prove-it deal, he knows us. He knows if he can prove it, we'll get it right next time when we come to contracts. Bring him on in. Hell, I say the more bodies we have, the more competition. If you can beat out everybody else, bring it on.
No, I'm with that. Like, it's almost weird that there's been like no news on him at all. No rumors, no nothing.
Right. Like we did with AJ. There was no vibe videos. Wish you luck. See you later. Nothing.
Right. Well, with AJ, they did have some. They did have some for AJ.
Yeah, they did. That's what I was saying. With
right.
Geno,
you saying like with him, they didn't. Yeah, there was nothing.
And you would be surprised. Even with Dunlap, they said a thank you, Carlos.
Right.
But with Geno, it was just like, you're cut by nothing. But I think they low key was like, look, we're gonna cut you, but we'll bring you back at a later time if you want to come back.
Right, facts. Well, Diddy, I appreciate you for coming by, bro.
Thank you, bro. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise, bro. I look forward to more in the future, my guy.
All right, I'm always here supporting you and Zim.
Yes, sir. Always. Diddy, you can always guarantee that Diddy gonna be there. Appreciate it, bro. Who that?
No problem. Who that?
All right, my man Devon Thought. Before I get to him real quick, I got Dustin Croft for $5. Do you think fans of two. I guess he's saying our two running backs are going to be on the field at the same time. It doesn't seem like the scheme many NFL fans want to use. NFL fans wanted Gio and Mixon. I think it's possible, but two running backs on the field at the same time, it's hard to say. But Devon Thought, what's going on, bro?
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm kind of in the middle of doing dishes and stuff, bro. But I'm the one to message you about getting on that live chat on Twitter.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember or not. So I'm about to pause the screen real quick because I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Nah, you good.
All right, so check this out. We was talking about the draft, right? And we was talking about the selection of Jackson Carman. And I put in the chat and I put all over Twitter that I believe if you look at him and you look at Bobby Williams when he came out of Arkansas, the similarities is crazy. The only difference is that Bobby is a little bigger and Bobby has a longer wingspan. But when you look at the way these two guys move, you know what I mean? It's crazy, man, how similar they are. And also, I had put in the chat, I don't know if you saw it or not, I said my two favorite players that we have drafted from an upside standpoint is Cameron Sample and Dante Smith and Deontay Smith. Now, Deontay Smith, simply because the tools, the long wingspan, the lateral ability, the quick feet, and he has some nastiness about him. The only thing he needs to work on is his technique. He's very raw. I mean, I've seen video footage of when they were playing. Don't remember who they were playing, but it was a couple of instances where he tried to use the two-hand technique and he completely missed the defensive end, and he ended up on the ground a few times. So I'm hoping, with Pollock, and we know how good Pollock is, he'll be able to help him with the technique because his skill set screams left tackle. And if they put him at guard, you saw the footage of him at the Senior Bowl, tell me he didn't remind you of Eric Steinbach when he was pulling and he was hitting them linebackers and the safeties back there. I'm like, man, this dude can move, man. And I don't know about you, I was heated when we lost Eric Steinbach, especially to Cleveland.
Oh yeah, I was too. When we lost Steinbach to Cleveland, that was that and Sean Rogers to Cleveland too, man. Oh man, don't get me started.
But and then as far as Cameron Sample, the reason that I love Cameron Sample so much, man, is his hands, man. He has really quick hands and they're powerful, and the man can actually bend. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's Dwight Freeney or somebody, but for his size, he can actually bend the corner, and that has been one of the issues that the Bengals have had for years. We have never had a player that can just get down and bend the corner. Carl Lawson loved him. Carl Lawson strong. He was able to turn speed into power, but he was kind of stiff in his hips. And I think a lot of the surgeries that he had something to do with that, plus how muscle bound he was. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But if we can get Joseph Osai, because Joseph Osai can bend a little bit as well. You know what I mean? Joseph Osai is more explosive than Cam Sample, but Cam Sample is quick himself. And he can rush all through the line. I heard somebody say, oh, he remind me of Gilbert Wallace Gilberry. I'm like, no. I said he's more athletic than Wallace Gilberry if you just look simply at the footage.
Right.
But if you look at how he plays, and he's not this player, just the way that he plays the game. Justin Tuck. If you remember Justin Tuck from the Giants, the only difference I would say is Justin Tuck is more explosive and he has a longer wingspan. But when it comes to the hand usage and the ability to beat the inside, to beat the guard in the center to the gaps, he is there, man. And his hand, with his hand speed and his power, the power that's in his hands, he can control those blockers. So that's why those two right there are like my favorite.
I'm gonna say this, bro. I might not have. I don't know what happened with your message, but I'd love to actually have you on the next Cut the Tape on I do. So it seems like you definitely know something about film and breaking it down. So I'd love to have you and extend an invitation to you if you want to jump on and do a Cut the Tape on. We could do any kind of player you want.
Okay.
If I got the film on him. If I had the film on him.
That's cool. That's cool. I definitely don't have a problem with it. Just, because I work 64 hours a week, man. That would probably be, yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you can't come on, it's all good. If you can't, trust me, I understand, bro. You got to do what you got to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate you entertaining the conversation. Also, I talked to Zim a little bit on Twitter about possibly starting my own little Who They, page or whatnot on YouTube. And I started it. It's a work in progress. I need a lot of help. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you because this is completely new to me. This is foreign territory. But it's called Who They Vision, and take a look, you can take a look or whatnot. But
yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to Who They Vision for sure. Is it all one word or is it two different words?
It's two different words.
Yeah, so two different words, Who They Vision. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to definitely check it out now. I'm actually typing it in right now just to make sure I get everything. Yeah, I got you. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe.
All right, Ace, I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man. Appreciate you.
What part of Cincinnati you said you were from again?
I was originally from Avondale.
See, aren't you from there, baby? No, I'm from Mount Healthy. She's from Mount Healthy. Okay. Oh. Yeah. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. So, hey,
good. Yeah, Dayton, the Flyers. I know about Dayton.
Oh, yes, sir.
Brothers. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, man. You take it easy, bro.
I appreciate it, brother.
Who that?
Who that? All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Q&Ace. I appreciate everyone coming through. And as usual, I'm going to leave you guys with a Who Day all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.